and I love you.
Como ella baile con pegaderas como si fueran de plástico. No,
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I know that it's been a while, so let me start off by saying welcome back. And you know, life gets crazy, you know, especially when you're a working adult and you got school and work, and you know, it took me a while to kind of get myself together as far as the Dominican Republic thing. I had a lot of things planned for it, but that's just the way life is. Not everything turns out the way you wanted it to be. So guys, today we're gonna be doing a video. I have a follower or a subscriber who hit me up on Instagram. I don't want to dox anybody, put anybody's information out there. I don't want to. We'll just call him Riley. But he hit me up and he's like, hey, I've been watching your videos lately and I'm planning a trip and I want to ask a few questions. So I figured, why not do a live session over the phone so you guys can kind of get an idea. If you ever have any questions, you can give me a call and we can, you know, set something up. But let me start by giving you guys a little one-on-one of what I do, you know. So let's get started.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Bro, your name is Riley, right?
Yeah.
Riley, okay. So yeah, I didn't know exactly what you wanted to ask, but I've had a few people call me, sometimes for consultation, sometimes for advice. I tell them a lot of times that most of my content that I've made so far was based around the Dominican Republic because that's the place that I usually go to. But I am going to Colombia at the end of the year. But did you have any questions based on just traveling in general or specifically the DR?
I did have a few on the DR, but a question I did have regarding traveling outside.
Yeah.
Is the Dominican, like, what do you think is the best place, especially as like a first time out of the country?
Not exactly. I'll never say that because it's not a one shoe or one size fits all, you know.
Yeah.
So for example, I've been to the Dominican Republic 7 times over a span of 4 years, and every time that I went, you know, wasn't like the previous time. You know, sometimes there were effects of, you know, if you were in a relationship, if you were just going there to have fun, if you were going there in the summer and the winter, it just kind of depends. And I think one thing that I do ask a lot is it's kind of depends on what you're looking for when you go there. Because, you know, like my cousin just came back from Brazil. He was in Rio de Janeiro, and to him, that was like the best. That was the peak. I've had some people tell me that it's Colombia or that it's Thailand or that it's the Philippines. I really think that, especially when it comes to traveling, you kind of have to decide what it is exactly that you're trying to look for when you go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you say Santo Domingo is like, what's the nightlife like through the weekday?
So Santo Domingo, with it being the capital, let's see, it's April. So spring, it's a little bit slower than wintertime, but it's not as slow as it is in the summertime. So Monday through Friday, you're looking at small bars that'll be like in barrios, but if you're talking about going to like bigger places, if you're in Santo Domingo Este, I would say go to Mixer. Mixer is like what's sorry, I don't want to dox you. What state do you live in?
I live in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so I live in Atlanta, so I would consider like going to Mixer would be going to like the kind of bar where you know everyone's buying drinks. Most people there have some kind of money. You'll see a lot of like dolled up girls there. Now the opportunities for like meeting a girlfriend, I'm not saying like, you know, that's the place you would go, but
Yeah, no, I'm not looking for like a long term.
yeah, but meeting girls, hell yeah, you'll definitely meet a lot of girls at Mixer. There's a few other places that I could tell you about, like for example, if you were going somewhere where you just kind of wanted to like let's say it's still nightlife, but you kind of want to walk around a little bit, stop by a bar, get a beer, you know, then continue walking. There's people in the streets playing music and eating at, you know, on the patios of restaurants, and you know, people like, you know, walking around taking pictures and stuff. That's where you'd go to like Zona Colonial. So Zona Colonial is kind of like what they would consider the more touristy kind of area. And if you go there, that's where you'll run into a lot of people that you'll probably see like around your age, and you know, people looking, and you'll see like a lot of Americans there, and it's a little bit more of a mixed bag when you go there. And then the last place I would say is Santo Domingo Norte. What I would do is I would type in Google, like as soon as I go down there, I would just type in Google and I would type in clubs and Santo Domingo Norte, and that's where it's the most safe area. So going to Santo Domingo Norte, you'll be dealing with Dominicans that kind of live in, you know, normal means, like have money. So you'll be around a more like city kind of district kind of area. So there'll just be a lot of places that you can visit there. But you know, it just kind of just depends on what you're looking for.
Okay, and so what about, so I'm kind of, my Spanish language is very little. Is that gonna cause like a roadblock?
Let me ask you this first. Are you white?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Just like that.
No, you good.
Okay. So, any place that you go to in the Caribbean islands where most people are of dark complexion, they're going to see you as, oh, he's a gringo. He's got money. Now, are you going by yourself or are you going with friends?
I'm going with a friend.
Okay, so if you're going with a friend, you'll be good in a lot of more touristy areas. You don't have to know Spanish, but knowing Spanish kind of is the difference between, how do I say this? Like, between being a lick and between kind of being in control of the situation. So, like, if I were in Santo Domingo, you know, I've been in barrios where, like, people will kill you if they know that you're an American. But because of the color of my skin and the fact that I can speak Spanish, I just look like I was already there. And, you know, a lot of the things that you have to deal with, doesn't matter if you're black, white, blue, or orange. You know, Americans, we go to different countries and we don't know how to maneuver correctly. But because of you looking like a foreigner, like you can't blend in, it's just better to be on your P's and Q's. But I still always have said this, and I'll always say this: Dominican Republic is one of the safest places that you can visit. You really won't run into any danger unless you're looking for it. I mean, you really have to be kind of an idiot. Like, you know, I've told stories on the channel of things that have happened to me, but those are things that I put myself into. So realistically, I think if you're in Zona Colonial, if you're in Boca Chica by the beach and you guys want to just, you know, pick up like a girl for the night or something, there will be enough people there who are also American who you won't feel like a fish out of water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about like walking around the Dominican with like jewelry? What's your take on that? Just leave it at home?
You know, a lot of Dominicans will tell you to put your jewelry up, but like, for example, I wear this chain with a lion head on it, and everyone, even in America, like, people ask me like, is that real, or, you know, that's a nice necklace, like, where'd you get that from? And I honestly paid $40 for it at Walmart, but I think to the eye of the poor man, anything that makes you look like you got money, like, and I'm just some broke ass nigga, like, obviously I'm gonna want to like take your shit from you. But I mean, think about it like this, like, I had a friend who went to the DR, and he's a super flashy dude, like chains, rings, necklaces, and shit like that. And he didn't really have any issues because he was with a group, and he was also like in the more touristy kind of areas where you gotta spend money. But the problems of you like wearing stuff like that is when you're in a barrio, like when you're around poor people. The only really real issue that I think you'll experience with wearing like chains and stuff is people are gonna think you have money, and then they're gonna try. Like, there's a lot of street swindlers. Like, depending on where you are, there will without a doubt there will be someone on the street trying to sell you something. You could rent a car and be driving on the road, talking to your friend. He's in the passenger seat. Someone will walk up to your car, try to sell you flowers, balloons, some shit, toys, something. So someone will try to spray water on your front driver's mirror, the windshield, sorry.
Yeah.
And expect you to pay them for trying to wash it off. But you have to, like, one thing I learned in the DR is you have to be willing to say no, gracias, pero no, like, no quiero nada, like, just leave, like, I'm good type thing. You have to make sure, like, you're always saying, I'm good, I don't want that. Even if you're walking on the beach and some guy's like, hey bro, you want to buy one of these necklaces, or you want to, hey, I got Viagra, or hey, I got cigars, like, no, I'm good, I'm okay, gracias, pero no. Like, just learn to say no if you really don't want it. And always carry smaller bills, especially when you go down there. You're gonna want to change your money out for your dollars to pesos. Just do it at the airport. Trust me, go to the airport, find one of those kiosks, change your money out there, and then when you're at the desk, ask her for smaller bills. Because the moment that you walk out of the airport, it begins. Hey, you need a car? Hey, you need me to take you somewhere? You need an Uber? Hey, somebody's gonna need something from you, and you have to learn how to hustle at the same time, because their only goal is to hustle you. They go to the airport every single day looking for someone to hustle, because they have to. They gotta feed themselves, but you gotta be the hustler too. So someone's like, hey, I got a car. You need a car for the day? Oh yeah, I do need a car actually, but I'm only gonna try and spend $50. So if you don't want to sell it to me for $50, I'm good. But thank you. I'm just gonna call an Uber. They will find some way to get your money. They will find some. Oh well, maybe you can do it for 70. We can work something out, something like that. So you just have to, even if you don't speak Spanish, you have to just be able to understand that everyone in the world understands the word no, or you have to be willing to negotiate. No matter where you are, just be able. If someone tells you it's $3, nigga, I only got $1.50. Do you want it or not? Like, as simple as that. And if they say no, okay, cool, that's fine, whatever. Just move on. You will most likely find someone on that exact same road who has the exact same thing that you're looking for, who is willing to work with you on the price. So that is a long-winded way of saying that, but yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Take any precautions when bringing women back to an Airbnb or wherever?
Yes.
Just to avoid a setup or any theft.
Yeah. So I'll say 2 points on that. You're not in Colombia, so no one's gonna drug you or nothing like that. These girls would rather be good to you because they really need the money, and they're hoping that you'll probably want to see them again tomorrow or the next week or something. So the girls in the DR are going to be a little bit more easygoing. Now, if you're in Colombia, you're gonna deal with they're having people getting kidnapped and put up for ransom, and girls are going back to your house and putting scopolamine in your drinks and everything. You're not gonna deal with that in the DR. With the thing with the girls is that you have to just set a price. That's the issue that you deal with in the DR. Be clear about how much you're giving her, because a lot of girls, they will do that thing where after everything is done, you said you're gonna give me 150. No, I told you 100. And then they start a whole thing, and then they're yelling and screaming and threatening to call the police. Those type of scams will happen there. So what I do, no matter where you stay, if you stay in a hotel, that's even better. because in a hotel, that girl can't come up to your room without showing her ID. So she's got to show her ID to the host or whatever, and then she can come up to your room. If you're staying in an Airbnb, you're gonna be staying in a place that has burglar bar doors. The majority of houses and apartments in the DR have burglar bar doors on them, so no one's getting in unless you let them in. You got to make sure whenever you're staying in an Airbnb, you're locking the doors behind you, making sure that you don't leave windows open. If you're bringing a girl back to the room, like, that's why I never bring a girl back to the room until, like, let's just say it's the first night. You just got there. Don't bring a girl back until you've put everything up. You put your pants, your shoes. Like, Dominicans will take what they can get. I have brought in weed. I've brought in weed pens, all types of things there. And I cut vapes, and I'm like, hey, where's my vape at? I swear I left it here. They will find little things like that and take it with them. Or a charger. Like, maybe you brought 2 chargers with you just in case you lost one or something happened to it. One of those chargers, like, damn, where did I leave my charger at? It's not where I left it. So when you're bringing girls back, just make sure that you know where everything is, and that everything that has true importance to you is put somewhere that they can't have access to it. And then when you want to bring a girl back, always have the money exact that you're going to spend with her. You do not want to be fiddling through your pockets trying to count, okay, 100, 1,000. No. Have the money already ready. So some girls will tell you, like, especially with you being a white guy, they're gonna want to give you the higher price. So let's just say, like, I'm in Boca Chica, a girl's talking about she wants $100. I'm not doing that. I don't pay a girl $100 in Dominican Republic. But you know what? Hey, I got $70, and I guarantee you that she's been sitting inside of that brothel for the past 6 hours in the hot ass sun, waiting for someone to come and bring her some money so she can go back home. She wants your $70. She wants your $100, but she will take that $70. So you have to be, like I said, willing to negotiate and say no. If you're out in the street and you see a pretty girl and she comes up to you, hey Poppy, what's going on? I come back to your room or whatever. Yeah, of course. But hey, yo tengo 3,000 pesos. ¿Tú quieres o no? She will tell you in that moment if she wants it or not. Okay, but and then they always say this never fails. But Papi, mira, es poco dinero. Come on, dame un poco más. Amor, no, es que yo tengo. I have this amount of money. You can have it. If you don't want it, there are about 40 other girls out here who will take this. And I guarantee if I don't fuck you tonight, one of these days I'm here, I will get you for this price. And so just be very mindful that just because someone tells you that they want this or this is how they do business, you have to be kind of willing to say no. Well, this is how I'm doing it. You have the leverage in the situation. So like I said, you will be fine. No one will try to break into your house if you bring a girl back. If she tries to pull something like that, there are police there that you can literally pay money to have a girl arrested for fucking with you or doing something to you like that. Like, trust me, it'll be fine. And just don't go into the barrios. If a girl's trying to take you back to her place and she's like, hey, let's just hop on the back of this motorcycle, and this motorcycle, I'll pay him and he'll take us to my house. Just say, no, I'm okay. We can go to my place and you leave, or just forget it, but just don't go back. Now, I've done that. I've gone back with girls to their houses before. It's not a crazy ordeal. It's just that because I know how to move there and I know how to speak Spanish, it makes it a little bit simpler. But with you not knowing that area, it could become dangerous, and you never want to take a chance, especially when you're on vacation. So yeah. Okay, I think that's everything I can say on that matter.
Another question. So what's how are the male Dominicans towards American males? Because I mean, besides meeting the women, I'd like to make some friends if I decide to come back.
Yeah, always try and make whenever I'm walking around or something or just hanging out, you'll run into somebody and just say, hey, can I get your WhatsApp, or are you on WhatsApp? And just get their number. But most Dominican dudes, they'll be cool to you, because they want to do business with you too. You know, or you never know who somebody knows in the Dominican Republic. You might be chatting with somebody and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got a cousin who rents cars and he'll give you a way better price." And if they fuck with you, they'll hook you up. But most Dominican men, you know, they know the deal. They know that the girls are outside selling pussy and the men are here to buy it. Like so Dominican men understand the game. They do the same thing. They pay the girls for sex too. But I don't think there's any like hostility towards American men. You might get a few who might be jealous. Obviously, imagine some dude coming to your country and taking your women. Like us as Americans don't have to deal with that. But I could completely understand that. But in most situations, they're doing the same thing. They don't really care. Most Dominican dudes, you'll start a conversation with them. I'm pretty sure like a week or a month will pass by. You leave from the DR, he'll still hit you up. He'll still ask you when you're coming back. And if you're looking for anything like girls, bud, or whatever, he knows somebody who can get it for you. So yeah.
Okay. And then so you said with the police, they'll like accept money if like there's an issue. Would that be the same way if like something were to happen on like my end? Like if I don't know.
Give me an example.
Say there was like a fight or something.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like say I get into like legal trouble, like I don't know if that's anything you.
When it gets like, let's just say that you were at a bar one night and you got into it with some guys. Okay. The police make little money. Like, let's say the police probably make between $20,000-$25,000 a year, maybe. And look, I could be wrong. I imagine it's probably more like $14,000 a year. But let's just assume that it's $20,000. They don't have the patience or the care to really get into what happened with some American and some Dominican dude. Now, there's a chance that, let's just say you did get in a fight and you got arrested and they took you to jail and, they're telling you like their goal, like they don't really want to take you to jail. I could imagine that if you got arrested and you could be like, look, I got $50 in my back pocket. Can I just give this to you and you let me go home? They will take the $50. Like I told you, everything is negotiable there. Now, if you did something that was really crazy, like you beat up a girl or something like that, no, bro, no, they're taking you and putting you under the jail, and you're gonna have to deal with American customs with something like that. But small issues like someone stole your phone or someone threatened you, not verbally, but not with a weapon or nothing like that. The police, most of the time, they got your back, so you don't have to worry about that. Or you can buy your way out of most issues,
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. I mean, I wasn't trying to imply my goal is to commit a crime, but I mean,
you're good, dude.
If there was like a small issue, if like they would give you a hard time, but.
No, you're good. I trust me. I've never run into any issues, anyways. No one's gonna try to fuck with you or intimidate you. I really feel like you will be the more intimidating force for the simple fact that you're a foreigner, and these people be on this street every day. Seeing the same people every day. So they're more familiar with the area and this, the culture, I guess. But realistically, you have the power in the situation, and nobody's looking for trouble in the DR,
So would you say like, in Santo Domingo, is there like enough stuff to do there, like for a week, and
Definitely.
Not get tired?
No, but it also depends on what you're trying to do. Like, now if you're talking about like you want to go to the carnival one day, the next day you go to the beach, the next day you go to Zona Colonial and just see the sights and maybe rent some motorcycles or some scooters, rent some dirt bikes, then maybe the next day you want to go to a restaurant and maybe rent like a boat for the day, or there's stuff like that to do. You can go to the movies, go to the mall. But when I hear most people on these DR channels, the most things they be talking about is like, I went to the mall, or I went to a restaurant, and some of that stuff gets kind of boring after a while. I can understand that, especially if you live there. But you'll always have something to do. There's literally always something going on. There'll be a party going on, or you can go to a bar. And if you ever decided, hey, let's go to Punta Cana for a day, or let's go to Sosua for a day or for 2 days, or let's stay in Santo Domingo for 3 days and then go to Sosua for 2 days and then go to Punta Cana for the last day. The traveling down there it'll only cost you 1,000 pesos. It's like $15. So if you're in Santo Domingo and by the third day you've done everything you really wanted to do and you want to find a B&B in Sosua for like 2 days, all right, I bet you can find one for about $40 a night. Pay $80 and take a bus out there. It'll probably take you about 2.5-3 hours to get there, but it only costs you $15, and then you can hang out there. And I think that's a really good plus for it, because you can move around the island how you choose to. But realistically, if you're just saying you just are planning on spending time in Santo Domingo, you're good. You'll have plenty of stuff to do every single day. Trust me.
Okay. Yeah, we were kind of thinking about maybe going to Sosua for like 3 days after like 4 in Santo Domingo.
So Sosua would be like I've said this before, it's kind of like going to like Vegas. Like it's a lot more free, a lot more girls on the street, especially on the weekends. A lot more Americans out there. So Santo Domingo is more of like, it has more law and order, and the fact of like, you can download Tinder and meet a girl and take her on a date and then go do stuff like that. Now, if you're looking for just like, I'm just looking for girls and a good time, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, yeah, you can definitely go to Sosua and be with a different girl every night if you want to. You can have 2 girls a night if you choose to, but it just depends on what you're trying to do. And plus, even when you're in Santo Domingo, you don't have to go to Sosua. You can go to Boca Chica. Boca Chica is kind of like Sosua light, I guess, and it's just a smaller strip, and there's girls out there, but they're not quite as many girls as there would be in Sosua. So it just kind of depends,
Yeah. Have you ever like hopped on like Tinder like before you went, just to like try to line something up? I mean, how does that usually
all the time
go?
So what I would do, I would download Tinder. I would pay I think it's like $18 for a week, and I would just swipe my ass off in Santo Domingo. Like literally, pay $18 for a week of Tinder Gold, and just swipe. Even if she's ugly, even if she's fat, just swipe. Just swipe as much as you can, and then as the matches come through, you sift through them and pick which ones you want to go through. But you have to be aware that if she's on Tinder, there's a chance that she could be a chapeador, which means she's only looking for money. There's a chance that she could be a cuero, which means she's just looking to sell sex to you. And then there's also the chance that she's probably just some normal girl who doesn't talk to a lot of foreigners, but she was curious and just, maybe she thought you were cute, she's wanting to get to know you. So you just have to be aware of those 3 things to look for on Tinder, and a lot of that will just come from the first few minutes of the conversation. If the first few minutes of the conversation, she's just kissing your ass and she's just sending you kissy faces and of course we can hang out and no, like most likely she just thinks that you got some money. And you got to be careful about messaging girls too early, because once a Dominican girl starts talking to you, she thinks that y'all are talking, and she's gonna be hitting you with her problems and, could you just send me $50? Like, I know you're coming in 2 weeks, but could you just send me like $40? Because I have to pay this, and I need to do this, and no. And I want to look pretty for you when you get here, so I got to get my nails done and my hair done and buy it. So if I'm talking to a girl, I would probably wait till a week or 2 before my flight and, see what I can line up and then make plans with the girls for when I get there. But I wouldn't be trying to have full out conversations with them about too many things. And also, dude, I would say less is more, in the sense of even though you're swiping, just find like 2 or 3 girls that you feel like you could fuck with for a week, and rotate them. Like literally, hang out with one day, hang out with another one another day, because you don't want to allow yourself to get too attached to the situation. Because how Dominican women think, they're thinking, if he's going on dates and spending money on me, then he wants to be with me. So it's better to have an option or 2, so it keeps things a little bit light. Plus, you never know who you're literally going to see walking in the street. Dude, there's so much ass in the DR. Like, it don't matter if you're at the airport, the gas station, the grocery store, there are bitches everywhere. So you don't want to feel like, you got tied down to this girl. And that's happened to me so many times, where I find a girl on Tinder, I think she's so fine, I meet her in person, she's great, but then you see another girl, and then another girl, and another, and now you feel bad because you made all these plans with this girl for a week, and you told her she'd come stay at your Airbnb, and now you're kind of just stuck with her, and you can't even like explore your options. So that's my take on that.
So you mentioned like Colombia and like being like more cautious to the girls over there. Would you recommend waiting to go there after like getting some Spanish down? And
definitely, it's see, for example, I can't blend in Colombia. There's Colombians who are my complexion, but the majority of Colombians are white skinned. So in this situation, I wouldn't be able to blend in. They would know I am a black guy in the DR, in Colombia, and they know I'm a foreigner immediately. Also, the situation in Colombia is so much different. Like, I'd argue in South America, like, versus being on an island. Like, the DR is an island. Colombia is a whole country, and it doesn't matter whether you're in Cali or Cartagena or Medellin. Like, those girls are a little bit more sneaky than the girls in the DR. Now, I would honestly say, well, how old are you?
21.
So you're 21 years old. You're young. You're probably impressionable. Like, I feel like a girl might see that as a way to get at you, but at the same time, you're young. So the guys that begin in trouble in Colombia, those are those older guys who are really trying to like think like this fine ass Colombian chick with huge tits and a nice ass is in love with me, and she tells me she loves me, and I'm paying her rent and shit like that. Those are the guys who like end up getting into some trouble. But you're just a young dude. You're gonna meet girls who are 20, 19, 18. They're just trying to hang out and have fun, and they're still gonna have the same mindset that you do at 21 years old. I'm 30 years old, so at 30 years old, I'm going to most likely be talking to girls around my age who are more looking for long-term relationships and marriage and stuff like that. But at 21 years old, I doubt you'll be looking for some 27, 28-year-old chick anyways. So as long as, like, and I've heard a lot of people tell me, like, don't use Tinder in Colombia, the dating apps, like, the girls will be looking for you. But I don't necessarily think that's true. I think that it's more so just that the guys that go there don't have the knowledge. Like, especially when it comes to knowing if a girl is trying to play you or steal your shit or like put some kind of shit in your drink or something. I think that you just have to kind of be on your P's and Q's when you're in Colombia. It's that place is like you don't hear about stuff like that in the DR. That's really stuff you only hear about like in Mexico, Colombia, like South American places. But you'll be fine, dude. Just you'll be talking to younger girls who aren't at that level anyway. So I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all the questions I had. I appreciate your answers.
I got you, bro. Yeah, and
it really helped a lot.
Yeah, and listen, if you ever have any more questions, just message me on IG, and I can if I know it, I'll answer it for you. But just for the most part, just out of everything I've told you, just be careful and move like you're in a dangerous situation, but don't feel like you're in danger. Like just be smart, and you'll be all right. But all right, bro. Thanks for calling me, and just hit me up if you have any questions. Tell your name one more time.
It's Riley.
Riley. Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you, Riley. But
nice to meet you too. I appreciate it.
I got you, bro. But you have a good night, and just text me if you need me, man.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.